Hello, welcome back to another episode of Dear Source, your ascendancy hotline, where we connect in with Source and answer real life questions, challenges that listeners just like you are writing in, asking for guidance from Source. And we are such an honor to be a channel for the divine to bring through Source's lessons for us in everything that we experience on this planet. We are human beings having a spiritual experience, and we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so everything that we do is a way to connect in with Source and understand what are life's lessons here. So without further ado, we're going to connect in with the writer that wrote in, struggling to discern. For all of those that are new to the channel, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the beautiful things. When you hear this message, get it out to people. Who needs to hear this? How can we continue to build and uplift humanity through a more connected experience and seeing each other as one? So I could not be more excited for this letter. So let's just jump right in. And it says, Dear Source, I've been on this spiritual journey for the past 5 years. And while I've grown in many ways, one of the hardest challenges for me remains fine-tuning my discernment of other people's energies. It's a struggle that continues to test me. And lately I notice that I keep attracting the same type of energies that feel lower vibrational and seem to pull me out of my divinity. What's even more confusing is when it comes to romantic partners. I find it particularly difficult to discern whether someone is truly high vibrational or if their energy is a lower vibration mask as something else. It often feels like an illusion, as if I'm being drawn to something that looks and feels positive at first, only to later realize that it's not aligned with my highest good. I want to attract relationships that nurture my growth and support my spiritual path. But I feel stuck in this cycle of misreading the energies of those I encounter. How can I sharpen my discernment? How can I better protect myself from energies that disguise themselves as something that they're not? I truly want to step into my divinity and maintain relationships that align with my highest vibration, but it feels like there's a barrier I can't quite break through. Please help me find clarity and deepen my ability to see the truth behind the energies around me. Sincerely, struggling to discern. So thank you, struggling to discern. What a beautiful letter, and so completely vulnerable. And I think what I would offer as we get into this discussion is, first and foremost, we live in a non-dualistic world. God didn't create right or wrong, good or bad. That just doesn't exist. We're in a binary universe. We're zeros and ones. So I think as I was reading your letter, I think there's some element of judgment that's going on. And as we go on our spiritual journey, it's very easy to have our spiritual ego kind of peek its head up and to realize that sometimes we go on this path and think we're better than somebody else, or I've done this work for the past 5 years. And the reality is we're all presenced in this one moment right here. And the universe is gifting us all the perfect people at the perfect times for our highest and greatest spiritual growth. And so as you go on this journey, you probably are going to find and uncover that you're going to have some more nuanced relationships that you're going to be coming in to contact with, because your soul is elevating and upgrading, and it's not any much better than anybody else. There's just an isness to it. And so you kind of described it. It's like, I feel like I'm getting the same person in the same lesson. And that's probably pretty accurate because the universe is showing you that you haven't really learned the lesson. The universe is showing you that you haven't just stepped into the essence of who you are, into your true divine nature that accepts people for where they are. The goal in that we're on here is to become so finely tuned that we can be in anybody's presence at any given time, and we are not knocked off kilter because of that. We are so entrenched in the state of unconditional love that it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. We are just extending them love and light because we see them as we see ourselves. And all of us are at different points on our journey, on the spectrum of frequency in any given moment. And so to just know that everybody is held by the universe, everybody has their own spiritual lessons, their own spiritual growth to go through. And these people are being gifted to you for your own spiritual growth. So, what a beautiful gift that the universe gives you, these beautiful, amazing people that are showing you, am I holding judgments? And if I'm holding judgments, I'm holding them against myself. We have to remember only what we are not giving in any situation can be lacking. So if we identify ourselves as separate from everybody else, we can't show up in right relationship with them. We show up in an energy of trying to take or keep, of seeing them separate from us. Well, I can't give you love because what if you hurt me? So I'm going to hold myself over here and not be the truest, most authentic version of ourselves. And so part of the lesson that it sounds like the universe is gifting you is, can I sit in a space of non-judgment, of complete unconditional love for my fellow human, for my fellow romantic partner, and to know that everything exists in relationship with knowing that there's only one energy here. And I think part of the hardest part with romantic relationships is we've deemed them as special, but they exist just like every other relationship. And our ego is the one that's trying to identify who this partner is. What do they mean to me? What are they going to give to me? If we come together, then what? When spirit is saying you're already one in union with these people, can you show up and be in right relationship with them? Can you be in a state of giving of your consciousness, of your source consciousness, to then receive the source consciousness back from the other individual? And the more we unlayer and detach and allow, the more the free flow of energy is just going to naturally occur. And so it does feel like, your discernment gets off, but that's because your ego is trying to take over. If you hear the small, still voice, like the ego is going to be loud and repetitive, which isn't the essence of truth. So if it's running these things of like, who is this person? What is this? Like, I just had this happen before, like whatever that is, that's the illusion of this separate self that's actually speaking. And it's speaking because it's wanting to attach. It's wanting to control the outcome. It's low. It's operating out of one of the three lower energy centers. If we're in lack, Like I'm lacking this. So who is this person? Are they going to give me love? I don't know if they're going to give me love. Maybe they'll give me love. Maybe they won't give me love. Who is this person? Now we're operating out of attachment. What's our label? Who are they to me? What are we doing? You know, I've got to control this person, because if I don't control this person, it's not going to go the way that my ego wants it to. Like all of those are lower vibrational frequencies when we're supposed to be qualifying and in this space of our heart of oneness and of love, which is the universal principle that we're here operating under. There's only really truly one law we have to follow: to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, to see ourselves with one with everybody, to do no harm. Well, if I'm having negative thoughts about you, that's doing harm, which then in turn is hurting me. So it's a paradoxical yet we're in a simple yet complex universe. And we have to remember that every action, there is a cause and effect. Every action causes a equal and opposite reaction. So if we're operating from a state of divinity and love, we should then be receiving back love. If I'm operating from a lower vibrational state, I'm going to receive that back. And the way that we tune our discernment is to sit in our fourth energy center, because then we get to use our upper chakras, our upper energy centers that are coming from source to qualify and help balance the ego. Like we're never going to get rid of our ego. We just have to learn how to come into right relationship with it, to understand like, here's what your role and here's what you're serving, and to go, okay, I'm safe. I am secure. I am not attached to the outcome. The right outcome is God's outcome. You know, we're here to be in flow. We're here to be living the desires of our Father, which means we're following God's will. We're allowing for God's will. Our human will, which is our ego, wants to think that it can control. And ultimately, God knows better. You know, I share this often, but Jesus pointed us to this. I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. So we want to be in flow of God's will, because God's will is the greatest will, and God's will is even more expansive than our egoic will, our human will. Like, are we willing to surrender and allow God's will to be done? May God's will be done. So whether that's in relationship with somebody at work, whether that's in a romantic relationship, are we allowing God's will to be done? Are we allowing ourselves to activate for the highest and greatest good of all? Because we're acting from a place of consciousness. We're acting from a space of awareness. And discernment comes in when we're residing in that space, because then we're able to really kind of distill what's being said here. But you're going to notice the ego speaks first and the ego speaks loudest. So if you're getting this loud voice that's telling you, like, what's going on? Why is this person doing this? I can't figure this out. Da, 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 da. That's probably your ego. And that's when you want to get even more curious. Like, what's my ego? What are you trying to protect me from? Oh, you're trying to protect me from heartbreak in your example of a romantic relationship. This person's like every other person I've met. Yes? No, we don't know. Because again, if we're in a space of non-judgment, we're allowing for more to come in. So there's a lot of opportunity in this to just be more inquisitive, be more observant. Notice when that voice is coming up. Where is that voice coming from? Why is that voice coming in? What's it trying to do? Oh, I don't need protected. Everything's okay. I've had heartbreak before, and I've survived every heartbreak that I've had. we always are moving forward. Every person is gifted to us for our highest and greatest spiritual growth. So if we can suspend judgment, if we can suspend the duality, if we can, and judgment comes from our ego too, because it's trying to keep us separate and say like, oh, I'm better than that person. No, you're equal to that person. You're both emanations of Source himself. There's no good, bad. There's no right or wrong. There's none of that. There's just Source. And anytime we're not acting from Source, we're acting from the absence of. So we have an opportunity to really connect in and to use these and go, am I operating from pure divine love? And if I'm not, why not? And what do I need to do in order to get there? So such a beautiful letter. Your discernment isn't off. It's just recalibrating and tuning in and understanding that we are here as divine beings that are abundant, unconditionally loving. We are safe. We are secure. We are in a benevolent, loving universe. So relax into that. See non-judgment, see them as human beings, see them being held perfectly by Source as well, wherever they're at, wherever they are on their spiritual journey. We're all walking home together at different times, different frequencies, all the things, but just allow that. And you don't need to create separation through judgment, but embrace the oneness and extend love. So if you struggling to discern would like a personal one-on-one session with me where we can dive deeper, you can maybe share more of what is going on there that I can connect in with and hopefully point you in the right direction. I am here as a conduit of Source in service of humanity. So please, anybody that has any questions, needs any type of connection, what about this? How does this link? What are my lessons? Please book yourself on my calendar. The link will be in the description box below. Please continue to like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. Share this with anybody that needs to hear this. Coming in 2025, we have a beautiful community we're building where we can come together in union with each other, have genuine human interaction that's connected to elevate humanity through our oneness. So please stay tuned for that. And until next time, trust the process, honor your truth, and stay connected to Source.